Hello, hello, can you hear me? Is that better? Hello,
Yes.
hello, can you hear me? Is that better? Testing, testing. Hi, everyone. Hello. Now, I've turned off my own, has that fixed the echo? Oh, brilliant, brilliant. First, I just wanted to say, hello everybody. Oh, this is so exciting. I'm totally new to Twitch, and I am Anastasia's mum, P-Head, and I just wanted to do a really big thank you to the amazing people at Fox. I'm blanking on the name because of the nerves now. Fox God Comics. So they did an incredible job looking after me and my family. The little girl who just Caitlin used in her comic, she used her as a reference when she was that age. My daughter, she passed away from cancer, and it's incredible. Can you guys hear it now? Oh, yeah, I can do all that. Thank you guys. Yeah, you tell me everything. Hold on 1 second. I will edit all of this, don't you worry. How about now? And now? Testing, testing. Thanks, Tamberlane, for the heads up. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Now, it's really crazy how much what you guys said relates to what we're talking about. So if anybody was just at the panel before me, we were talking about how to make, how to create art, how to how to start, how to speak against these negative words that we have in the back of our mind going, you can't do it, not today, you're not good enough. So we're going to discuss that and really look at that. And we're going to kind of dive into the psychology. I'll give a bit about what I do. Basically, I help kids and teenagers with divergence in their life. It can be neurodivergent, people, young people who've experienced trauma, people with disabilities. I work with these people, young people, and I show them what they can do versus what they can't. And so one of the things I'm going to talk about today is specifically neurodivergence. And, and I'm using the proper definition for that. So that's anybody with PTSD, autism. It's not just autism, it's ADHD. It's a very, very kind of long, breathful topic, and it covers, a lot of people, depression, anxiety. And we're going to look at that in art and how that can affect our artwork. So this is going to be, I'm just going to start with a short video that I apologize, it's kind of a bit normy for us in the furry community, but it's going to talk a lot about why things hold us back in art, why things hold us back in our lives, and how to deconstruct that using, psychology, using things that are a bit bigger, than just kind of little hints and trips, looking at what's the real base of it. So I'm going to stop rambling on with my nerves, and I'm going to go ahead and begin the video that took me ages to make here. So please hold together. I apologize, and tell me about the audio and how it goes. Thank you guys.
Van Gogh, Brian Wilson, Louis Wayne,
Can you hear
Sylvia
that?
Plath, Edvard Munch, Francisco de Goya, Ernest Hemingway. These and countless other artists throughout history have struggled with their mental health. So this makes us think, does neurodivergence breed creativity? Do I have to be divergent to be an artist? Does depression make me a better artist? Does anxiety make my art more expressive? Does my mania breed better material? Chances are, if you're tuning in today, you've dealt with your mental health in creating art. Numerous studies and experiences back up what we already know to be true. There is a strong link between well-being and creativity. But let's answer everyone's big question. Okay, I struggle with my mental health too, but why isn't my art better? Shouldn't I be a natural artist? Why can't I create when I'm depressed? All of the greatest artists struggled with their mental health. Why can't I overcome mine and do what they did? To answer these questions, we need to look at art more deeply. Why do we create? Why are we unique in the drive to create and express ourselves? Looking back at cave art, we note that these early humans wanted to share their story with others. We want our realities to be seen by others' eyes, either now or in the future. Let's look at a young child given their first opportunity to paint. They have no expectations on themselves for creating. They just revel in the fact that they can create. The atmosphere is safe, healthy, and loving. The little one feels supported to express themselves, experiment, make a mess, and most importantly, to create. And at the end, they are lavished with praise when they do so. Their artwork posted proudly on the fridge door. Young children don't care if they fail at coloring in the lines. They don't care if they get covered in paint or even taste a bit of glue. They don't feel the expectations of someone else, and more importantly, they don't have expectations of themselves. Now, let's look at our artist's experience now. You've got your favorite sketchbook and preferred pencils, some beautiful new paints or a trusted digital program and tablet. You have a nice cup of tea and your favorite creative playlist on your headphones. And nothing. Art block. You try, but every mark you make is worse than the last. You hate it. You crumple up your paper thinking you're never going to be anything. You look at the artists that inspire you and you sink into a deeper and deeper depression. You think there's no way you will ever be that talented. Everything you've ever made is absolute rubbish, and you are a complete failure. You might as well just give up. Now, let's look at this from a psychological perspective. What is the atmosphere we've made for ourselves? Okay, the warm drink is there, the music, our supplies are all accounted for, but what is our mental setup like? How does it compare to the happy child that we looked at earlier? Step 1. What is your inner voice saying before you even make a mark on that page? We need to dismantle and stop that cycle of inner child abuse. Let's do better than last time. This better be good. I want to be just like my favorite artists. I'm going to practice because I'm sick of being such rubbish. What we don't do is allow our own inner child a safe, healthy, and loving atmosphere to create. But why is this? Perhaps it was the constant criticism from a parent or teacher. Perhaps it was seeing others get the praise that we felt we deserved. Perhaps it was the pain of not being able to create or make a mess. Perhaps there was no one there to share our art with. Everyone was too busy to notice. Whatever that reason might be, as artists, I encourage you to sit with that moment or moments or even lifetimes of abuse and look at what your inner child was faced with when they tried to create. How does it differ from that child that we discussed earlier? Step 2. Let's acknowledge that injustice. Was it right for your teacher to criticize your artwork in front of a class? No. Was it right that only your brother got noticed for playing the guitar? No. Was it right that your mother was too house proud, so you were never allowed to make a mess? No. Every person deserves a safe, supportive, and loving environment so that they may be able to express themselves and be acknowledged and be praised. Step 3. How do we start to overcome that negative programming? Are we allowing our mistakes? Be kind to yourself and allow yourself to make mistakes. Would you believe that we learn 100 times faster if we make a mistake than if we get it right the first time? Remember, the human brain is wired to learn by making mistakes. Think about a child learning how to walk. They fall again and again, but they get back up countless times. This is how we learn. Remember, we have to make a mistake in order to learn how to fix that mistake. Take a deep breath and tell yourself it's okay to make mistakes. Now that we have promised ourselves to end our cycle of inner child abuse, we are emotionally ready to create. Let's look at some simple tips and tricks used by professional artists to defeat art block. Tip number 1, experiment with a new media or material. Often my students come to me frustrated by digital media. We see digital artists we love and we want to replicate their style. We try again and again, and still we just can't get that character right. Try a different media. Charcoal, acrylic paint, sculpture, even finger paints or crayons. If you experiment with something different, even if you're just playing around and making a mess, even if you don't make anything exciting or world-changing, you're allowing your inner child a place to create, to express, and most importantly, to learn. You are becoming receptive to the process of creation. Arts colleges force their students to try different media, even when they're focusing on a completely different degree, just so that they can experiment. This experimentation allows creativity to bubble up from even the driest well. This might be especially helpful for our friends I noted earlier with ASD or sensory processing issues. Trying something completely different allows you to expand your horizons. Don't just try traditional arts materials either. Research on YouTube. There are millions and millions of different new materials and arts and crafts out there to explore, learn, and create with. Give it a go. Tip number 2, warm up your hands when you create. Are you launching right into a sketch expecting a masterpiece? Would you ever run a marathon without stretching? Draw a million different squiggles, circles, backwards, forwards, stretch your hands, crack your knuckles, wiggle to your heart's content. Even some goofy doodles do a great job in just waking up the complicated connective tissue and tiny bones of your hands. People with chronic pain conditions, this goes double for you. As a person who struggles with rheumatoid arthritis, I noticed a huge jump in my talent when I allowed myself to warm up before I even attempted any art. Tip number 3, sketchbooks are made to practice in. They are not made to be final works of art. So many of us have watched videos of artists who are applying to CalArts or other degree programs that require application sketchbooks. Sketchbooks are made to learn from mistakes. They are not made to be final works of art. If you want to make a book that is a final work of art, let it be separate. Have another book devoted only to learning, growing, making, and fixing mistakes. This will be the best tool in your arsenal to make you a better artist. I guarantee that your favorite artist doesn't share at least 75% of the art that they create with the public, especially when those artists were learning to develop their talents. And those artists will be the first to admit that they are still learning, still working, and still trying to do something better. There is something about their art they can't stand. I guarantee you that. And that is the best part about art. There is no end to talent, only countless new beginnings and countless new opportunities to make different mistakes and learn how to fix them. Now, my most important and final tip and hint. Tip number 4. Don't expect to run a marathon when your leg is broken. Earlier, I discussed the link between mental health and art. We see incredible artists we know who have had life-changing mental health conditions, and we wonder how they were able to create such incredible pieces of art while struggling with something so immense. But what we aren't realizing is that they lived their whole lives struggling, just as we have with our conditions. There were days that they couldn't get out of bed. There were days that they were just too far gone to create. Those days, even our heroes didn't make anything. Allow yourself to be broken sometimes. Be kind to your inner child. If your inner child says, "Not today, I'm just too sad," take that. Allow that and honor that wish. Have a bite to eat, drink some water, have a nap. Let yourself be. If you honestly believe that mental health is as important as physical health, then you should allow yourself those days off from your art. Remember, always be kind to your inner child and treat yourself as you would your best friend. You have one body, one mind, and one future that belongs entirely to you. So respect it and try your best to stop external abuse from becoming internal. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please like it and subscribe to my channel. I will be making more and more content, hopefully this year, for my not-for-profit charity, Hope House Hazels. We help exceptional children become exceptional adults by helping families through trauma, divergence, and disability. Please visit our website to find out more. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.
All right, everybody, how is the audio now? Just let me know where we're at. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I really appreciate the support. I'm just going to switch our little scene here. Yay, I've popped up. Can everybody see that? I'm a little quiet. That never has been a complaint before. Oh, that means a lot to me, guys. That was screaming children and 4 days of video editing when I haven't done it in a long time. So I really appreciate that. Can you guys hear me now? How are we doing? Yes, fantastic. Brilliant. Thank you, guys. That means so much to me. It was a bit normy, so I was a bit worried how people would feel about it. So what I wanted to kind of follow up on that is, you know, we have this idea, and I really, really like how you said that, external and internal abuse. We have to look every single day, even if we're sat at home, we have external and internal abuse, and we have that kind of battle between what the outside world is saying, but more importantly, what we think the outside world is saying. And oh, good, yes, I'm glad. I am new to the fandom here, kind of admitting to my lifelong memory or membership of that, and being a bit kinder to myself. And again, kindness to yourself is very easily done and saying to be kind, to love yourself, it's very easy to say that. But if you've never actually, had a positive influence of what healthy love looks like, that's... Oh my God, Kate! September Lane comic, yeah, she knows I'm finally admitting it. Admitting my latent fruity tendencies. Sorry, I'm not as good at drawing and talking as the rest of you guys are. But yeah, absolutely. I think it's all about kind of self-love. And, I think what we were just talking about, so much of what we were going to talk about here was, touched on in the panel beforehand about, feeling positivity in our lives, and that constant comparison against others is omnipresent for so many of us. So I think we should, oh gosh, I'm looking at the time, and we're kind of coming up a lot faster. Brilliant. Okay, that's good. So I just wanted to kind of discuss, let's open up a bit of a Q&A about ways that let's have a look. Let's first look back. We had a lovely comment about pilot like kitty. You said one of my issues is analysis paralysis. So many options, so many things to do and to make. Now, I think that can be, that overwhelming sense of creativity is a beautiful thing, a lovely thing, but it's hard to kind of give it face. And sometimes we guilt trip ourselves for not, kind of loving every little bit that we can come up with. Anybody have any ideas in the chat about that? Anybody want to talk about that? Has anybody experienced something similar? Anyone? I'm just checking that everything's still working. Oh, bless. Yes. Question one more time. Absolutely. So the question is, when you have tons and tons and tons of information, what was it? The asker had put it in a really, really fabulous way. Analysis paralysis. So many options to do and so many things to do and make. So Tamberlane, yeah, I think, definitely we have that. Fantastic. I agree. Pick something and go with it. It's really, really good for that. Overthinking, yeah. Write things down, making a list. Making a list is one of the most... Embrace the analysis, absolutely. I think making a list is one of the most helpful things I've ever learned to work with neurodivergent people. It is so nice to have something on a page in black and white. List to organize your analysis. Absolutely, breaking the mountain down into bits, for sure. There's a really famous book about writing that's called Bird by Bird, and the idea is... Okay, fantastic. Thanks for telling me that. Oh, thank you. But you know what? Sometimes, Pilot, that's okay. I mean, we look at, I talked about these greats, and we kind of, look at them, if you're studying art history, you look at them and you go, oh, that's Van Gogh's, blue period, that's this, that's that. But actually, artists pop around a lot more. Absolutely, you get tired on things. That's a really, really good point. And the thing is, actually, it keeps your creative spark alive. Hello, peeking in. Hello, hello. We're talking about positivity. Laziness doesn't really exist. I agree with that. I agree with that. This is great. Yeah, that's a really good part. I'm gonna butcher your name. I'm sorry, darling. Tamirin. I'm sorry. I probably said that completely wrong. Yes, Pilot. Organize things into different sections. Canvas swap, zine, Odin business. Yeah, I have. To give you an idea about how many things. So I have, my professional business. So I work for an alternative provision school, which is really awesome, looking after, different kids. But also, I own my own business, so I work with kind of the older students as they kind of become, going into university level, 20, kind of like into their late teens, early 20s. And then in addition, I breed therapy pets, and that keeps me really busy because I had at one point 24 ferrets, luckily not now. Quite a few lovely ferrets, and I have, dogs, cats, but that keeps me busy. It keeps me focused. Temrin. I hope that's good. I think absolutely laziness usually means you're hitting a block. Absolutely. And that's the other thing is, like, you know, sometimes laziness is our body going, "Oi, calm down, please. It's too much," you know. Oh, brilliant. Fantastic. Yes. Something self-centered. Absolutely. And I think, you know, we have this idea of selfishness that's, I think, you know, it's archaic. It's really archaic. Looking after yourself isn't selfishness. I think a lot of people kind of, hopefully that's kind of getting broken down a bit more and more, but, you know, we find that we don't want to look after ourselves. I think everybody can. I think everyone can pilot like Kitty. And I think, but that's the thing, you know, allow that creative process. And you know, and again, as we said in the panel before, putting things down on paper, lists, make things exist, make things, you know, come into being. Give them, you know, give them an opportunity to exist. Oh, what's a raid? I don't understand. Oh goodness, you have to introduce me. Well, hi everybody. That's amazing. We're talking about neurodivergence. We're talking about that fight of the negative voice when we're creating art. Oh, fabulous. Well, welcome everyone. So I'm hosting from the other side of the world here. From it's 8 o'clock at night here in the UK, and we're all talking about how to become an artist, how to begin that journey. We've had a lot of people saying, "Oh, you just need to do this to start your webcomic. You just need to start that." Sometimes, so many of us, we're so intimidated and we're so frightened. We see these incredible artists, and we don't even want to put our pencils down on a paper. We don't even want to pick up the drawing tablet. So, anybody who's felt frozen out before, anybody, have you ever felt that kind of freezing out? Awesome, mi amor. Fabulous. Neurodivergent, another neurodivergent in the house. Hooray. Fantastic. Wow. Yeah, the deer in the headlights. It's massive. It's absolute massive. And I think, wow, fantastic. And I think, you know, again, the things that we were talking about in the video, I showed a video earlier, and essentially what it comes down to, it's using the inner child technique that we use in psychology. The fact that we have to fulfill the needs that were not met so long ago. So essentially, if we were ever told that our art wasn't good enough, or somebody, you know, didn't look at us or pay us enough attention, we have to go back to that moment when we were younger and really sit with it. And then we need to go, that's okay. Absolutely, cruel to yourself comes from, you know, that sustained inner trauma. It's something that you've, you know, external trauma that you've internalized. And before you even, you know, sit down and draw, what you have to really try and do is get to a point that you can actually say, I'm good enough to draw. I'm good enough to try. I'm good enough to hold a pencil, and I'm good enough for these materials. You know, I'm good enough for an art tablet. I'm good enough to invest in, and to invest time in. And again, you know, another really simple thing we talked about, warming up, just like everything. You want to be able to physically feel that you can do something. I have rheumatoid arthritis, and so before I even make any piece of art, I do a little something like this. If you can see in the art that I'm making on here, where I will just go, even in art books and sketchbooks, I will have just a doodle page that just warms up all of those, you know, bones, tendons. If you look at the complexity and the tininess of the bones, the interconnected, you know, tissue and fascia as well, that's in, you know, in the hands, it's incredible. And just say, you know, making mistakes, it fixes things. You know, you can fix mistakes. You can make things, you know, make things work. And remember, the most important thing about making mistakes is we get angry at ourselves for making mistakes, but we don't realize that actually that's how the human brain is meant to, it's meant to become better. So, like, you know, if we're learning to walk and we fall down, we don't just give up. We have to keep getting up. We have to fall down, and we have to know by falling down that that's, you know, when we lean that way, when we lean that the other way, that doesn't work. That doesn't work for running. Absolutely, mistakes are the only opportunity to learn. That's okay. We all knew what you meant. Absolutely, we all strive. And I think, you know, when we think back onto, you know, art that we look at from cave drawings, we see people who, they just, you know, they wanted to be heard. They wanted their story to be known, and that's integral to the human condition. I love that. Start with 3 mistakes. I would give yourself more. I mean, the thing is, we literally can't, we learn 100 times faster. We learn 100 times faster. You cannot learn if you do not make mistakes. If you get something right the first time, you're never going to get it right, kind of, you know, you're never going to remember that. It's really important. It's really important to make mistakes. Absolutely. Absolutely.